This year marks the 79th anniversary of the end of prohibition, another Washington decision that didn't sit well with members of the American public. Of course, bootlegging moonshine is still against the law, but Kristen Oakes joins us from Belmont Farms in Culpeper, Virginia, just outside the nation's capital, where one lifelong farmer is still making moonshine. And Kristen, please tell me we are not going to need bail money after this story.
Mike, I swear I'm not doing anything illegal. But 25 years ago, this operation would have been illegal in the United States. But thanks to the hard work of Chuck Miller, moonshine is out of the dark.
We cut hay again in May.
If you ask Chuck Miller, he's just your everyday farmer.
Basically, I've always farmed, and so, making the moonshine is just another little thing we do on the farm. So we're still raising corn and still feeding cows and still making hay. Before we feed the cows, we have to process the corn first. The byproduct from feeding the cows is moonshine.
Yep, he's a farmer and a moonshiner.
Well, we had 5 kids and farming wasn't a big deal. It was hard to make money, so Grandpa used to sell moonshine. Damn it, going if he could do it, I can do it, huh?
This shine, or white whiskey as he calls it, is his bread and butter.
There's still more money in whiskey than there is in his high prices of corn, believe it or not.
With his grandfather's original recipe, Chuck opened the door to the secret of moonshine.
That's a 2,000-gallon copper pot still. I was made in 1933. Been in service ever since. Sometimes legal, sometimes not.
In 1985, Chuck took his illicit business to the state of Virginia. 2 years later, Chuck became the first legal moonshiner in the country. And he says being legal sure beats being on the run.
You can probably make about the same amount of money either way.
But only one way do you get to go to jail.
In order to sell this shine, Chuck had to tweak his 150 proof recipe for a more modern market.
But when you want to sell it, you got to cut it down. And you just can't cut it with regular water. You got to have super clean water if you want to pass those government tests, see? So we got a little water plant here. We sand filter, water softener, carbon filter, pre-filter, reverse osmosis filter, a positive and a negative ion filter, 0.02 micron filter, and a UV light. Then we cut the whiskey. Of course, Grandpa didn't have all that, And Grandpa didn't have the license either.
From the first kernel of corn to the seal in the bottle, Chuck oversees every step and every sip in the process.
Take a little sip. You don't have to drink it all.
His moonshine looks clear as day and smells a lot like vodka. It goes down with a smooth, earthy flavor, but don't be fooled, it packs a burning punch.
You don't need it.
This bottle of moonshine is $39 here in Virginia, but if you buy the shine online, it'll cost you $85.
Taxes? Yo, there's a lot of taxes you got to pay on a bottle of whiskey. Why you do it in the woods, see?
Rolling out more than 25,000 bottles each year. Chuck says the price doesn't seem to slow his customers down.
Whiskey sells when the economy's good, whiskey sells, and when the economy's bad, whiskey sells. People
More
just
so when the
drink.
economy's
I swear to
bad,
God,
right?
they do. Yeah, they just keep drinking,
The Steelhouse Distillery here draws more than 10,000 visitors every year. And if you want to get your hands on your own bottle of Chuck Miller's original moonshine, head on over to our website, twilatv.org. Now for this week's Twila Trivia, last week our question was about how many FFA jackets are manufactured each year, and the answer is B, 50,000. For this week's question, what is the moonshine worm? Is it A, the water hose, B, an extension cord, or C, a copper pipe? If you know the answer, head on over to our website, twilatv.org, submit your answer, and we'll send one lucky winner their very own bottle of Chuck Miller's original moonshine. Still to come on This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
What are the chances we'll see a farm bill passed this year? I'm Neil Melanson. Coming up on The Bottom Line, we'll explore that and more. Stay tuned.